Hello Year 5, welcome to Tuesday's maths lesson. We're going to carry on looking at multiplication. Today we're going to be looking at factors. Factors are numbers that we can multiply together to get us another number. So the factors of 6 are 2 and 3. So we know that 2 multiplied by 3 equals 6. Some numbers will have lots of factors, some numbers only have 2 factors. Pause the video for a moment and have a think about these two questions. How would you find a factor and what methods could you use? When you're ready, press play. One method we can use is to use an array. So what's very important when we're doing that to make sure the arrays are in equal rows. So they should look like this, where I've got 3 rows, each with 2 circles in it. Not like this, where I've got 1 row with 1, 1 row with 3, and 1 row with 2. I can't count the sides accurately and find out what the factors of that number is. So by having the arrays in a square or rectangular shape, it becomes very easy to count the length of each side and find the factors. Now it's your turn. Can you use an array to find all the factors of 6? Now you can do this one of 2 ways. You can use some coins, or if you've got counters, you can use those. Or with a piece of paper and a pencil, you can actually draw out 6 spots and arrange them into the shapes. So we need to remember they need to be square or rectangular shapes. They can't be unusual or irregular shapes. Pause the video here. Okay, the ones I found there are, the factors of 6 are 1, 2, 3, and 6. I can show you this below because we have the rows and the arrays set out. So I've got 2 rows on the left-hand side, each with 3 counters in. So if I count across the rows, I can say I've got 1, 2, 3 in that one, and I've got 2 rows of 3. If you look over at the other array I've drawn, I've got 1 row which has got 6 spots in it. So I can count along there. I can say I've got 1 row and I've got 6 coins in that row, or counters. So that gives me the factors 1, 2, 3, and 6. So factor pairs, these are 2 numbers that we can multiply together to get a given number. So using the arrays that we've just shown, you know that 2 and 3 are a factor pair of 6. So we know that 2 times 3 equals 6. So we must remember that a factor pair of a number are 2 of the factors that when multiplied together give you the main number. So the other factor pair we found in there was 1 and 6. So when 1 is multiplied by 6, the answer is 6. We can also use times table knowledge to work out the factors of a number. Can you find all the factor pairs for 12? Pause the video here and have a go. So 12 has 3 factor pairs. There's 1 and 12, 2 and 6, 3 and 4. So when we multiply these pairs of factors together, we get the same answer. So we can also use a table to investigate the factor pairs of a number. It just makes it a lot easier to have it all written down nice and neatly in a really easy to understand format. So here's another table showing the factor pairs for 36. Why do you think there is an X next to the 5? Pause the video here and have a think about it. There's an X next to the 5 because 5 is not a factor of 36. There's not an integer, so there's not a whole number I can multiply 5 by to get to 36. Can you find the factor pairs for 64 using a table? You should be able to use this as your basis, and it will help you because some of them will be quite similar. So some of the lower factors, 1, 2, 3, and so on, I'm not going to give you all the answers, will be very helpful for you. Pause the video, and when you're ready, press play. So here is the completed table for the factors of 64. Give yourselves a tick if you've got the right ones, and if not, add in your corrections and see if you can understand where you needed to look a bit closer. So a challenge for you. Using a dice, if you've got one, or a number generator, you might need to ask mum or dad nice if you can borrow a laptop. Generate a 3-digit number and see how many factor pairs you can find for that number. If you find a number that's only got 2 factor pairs, generate a new number and have another go. And that's the end of our lesson for today. I'll see you all tomorrow.